Hi, my name is Patricia. I'm a counseling psychologist registered with HCPC here in the UK. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about specific automatic appraisals or assessments of your obsessions in context of OCD. So let's take an example of someone who's having obsessions around harming maybe their family members. So here we will have to ask the question, so what is so bad about actually having those obsessions? What it is that bothers you so much about having these obsessional thoughts? So the person might reply, for example, that good father or good son would not have such a violent, horrid thoughts about harming maybe the child or maybe the mother. So there must be something really violent within me. There must be, a criminal part to me that actually allows me to have those thoughts. And there's a possibility that, that I have these thoughts and actually I might act on them. I might actually lose control of myself and, start being violent with my maybe children or other family members. So that would be the appraisal, that would be the assessment of the obsessional thoughts. And that's what we will have to start questioning now. So we will have to start questioning the thoughts such as, if I have these thoughts, this means I'm a criminal. If I have these thoughts, it means I'm a bad person and I'm going to act on those thoughts. And here is where you could actually question yourself. So why having these thoughts actually bothers me so much? Why actually I hate having these thoughts so much? Because you're getting really strong reaction to having them, because that triggers a lot of emotions. It triggers a lot of appraisal. So at this point, when you start questioning your appraisal, when you're looking at the content, when you're questioning why this bothers me so much, why I hate those thoughts so much, we need to remember as well that most of us actually are having some sort of negative intrusive thoughts, whether they have maybe inappropriate sexual content or maybe violent content, but most of us actually have them. But most of the people actually ignore them. Most of us are not really bothered by them. Only a small portion of population will be bothered by those thoughts to the extent where they can actually develop OCD. As it was recommended by Purdon in her amazing book about how to overcome OCD, which I'm going to leave the link below, she recommended that it is actually a really good idea to keep track of your obsessions. So maybe for 7 days, 3 times a day, you could write down what the obsession was, what was the content of the obsession. Then you could write down the date and also the emotions that this obsession has triggered in you, and also the appraisal, so the assessment of that obsession. As we were saying before, so if someone, for example, has the thought about harming the family, then the appraisal, it will be, if I'm having this thought, it means that I'm a criminal. It means that I'm gonna actually go and do it. It means I'm a horrid person. And it is also really important. When you're gonna have the section with your date, then when you're gonna have the section with your emotions, and then you're gonna have section with your appraisal, it will be really important that the specific emotion that you're writing down, that this emotion will be associated with a very specific thought. So if the emotion, for example, that is being triggered for you, it is fear, then maybe you can link that with the appraisal that maybe I must be a criminal by having this violent thought. Purdon as well, in her book, she gives a few questions to help you analyze, reflect about those appraisals, assessments of your obsessions. So the first one, it is, what does it mean about me that I have this obsession? What it will mean about me if I do nothing when I have this obsessional thought? What does it mean that this obsession is actually repetitive? What will happen if I do nothing although I have this obsession? So once you complete the 7 days of keeping track of your obsessions and also the appraisal that is related to those obsessions, you should have much better understanding of the meaning behind your obsessions. You might actually understand much better the logic behind your OCD and also the interpretation of the meaning of an obsession. And then because of that, that should give you a better understanding of your emotional response to those obsessions. So if we take, let's say, an example that we just used before about someone having obsessional thoughts about wanting to harm someone in their family, maybe pushing someone upstairs. And obviously this thought will cause them a lot of distress. And the meaning that they're gonna give to the obsession is that if I have this thought that I want to push maybe my mother off the stairs, that means I'm a horrible person, that means I'm a criminal, that means that I'm gonna commit that crime. So when we look at those obsessions in more rational way, without really attaching emotions to it, then we can conclude that perhaps someone who is a criminal and who's planning to commit the crime, they're not gonna actually feel bad about committing it. They're not gonna have all these emotional responses that someone with OCD has. And then what we know as well, based on the research, is that people who actually suffer from OCD and who are having those obsessional thoughts, maybe regarding harming someone, those obsessional thoughts, normally they're going to be contradicting their morals, maybe their religious beliefs, and that's why they're going to be causing them a lot of distress. So that will then in turn really abolish that idea that I'm a criminal if I have these thoughts. It means that I'm going to actually go and do it. That means that there's a criminal part to me. So that is it for today. And if you found this video any helpful, then make sure you like it. And if this is the first time you're visiting my channel, make sure you're gonna subscribe and hit the notification bell. So every time when I upload a new video, new short, you're gonna be notified and you're not gonna miss out on any of this really interesting content. And I'm gonna see you in the next one then. Thank you. Bye bye.